All right, so in this video, I wanted to cover 10 different sneaker cushioning foam technologies that I think that you should be aware of in 2024. Now, some of these are existing foam technologies that we've covered in the past. Some of them are new on new models that I haven't even tried yet, something that I'm anticipating being pretty awesome. But let's go ahead and get right in, no particular order. First things first, we'll start off with Adidas. Yes, we know about Adidas Boost technology, one of my fan favorites for the last handful of years. The Adidas Ultra Boost really started this comfort revolution, in my opinion, from the lifestyle perspective. And these shoes were made for running. However, the lifestyle segment really just took over the market on the Adidas Ultra Boost. But Adidas Boost is a little bit of an older technology. They do have Adidas Boost Lite now, which is a lighter form but has really nice responsiveness as well. However, Adidas has a bunch of different technologies such as LightStrike, and LightStrike Pro is featured on the elite race models so far. We also have a new Repetitor foam coming out in 2024 with the Adistar 3 that looks pretty interesting. It sounds like it's lighter and softer than the predecessor on that one as well, so definitely one I want to check out. But the one that I'm most interested in, and the one that I think that you guys will like from the casual perspective, is the Adidas DreamStrike Plus. Now, this is a new midsole which takes inspiration from the LightStrike Pro, which has been featured in the record-breaking Adizero franchise, but this has an updated formula to offer more comfort and cushioning. Now, it's featured on a couple different models, the Supernova Rise, which I have not tried yet. I really want to. If you guys want to review, drop a comment. And then also the Supernova Solution, which I do have been wearing, and gotta say I'm pretty impressed with what they have with the DreamStrike so far. I'm very excited about what Adidas has to offer in the future. Obviously, the LightStrike Pro stuff is pretty amazing. It has a lot of responsiveness there. I've been saying it for years that they need to make a Adidas version of the Invincible run from Nike, a wider base LightStrike Pro model with a casual sort of tongue. Like, give me an Ultra Boost or an Ultra Boost Lite with LightStrike Pro on the bottom instead of Boost. And I think it's going to change people's minds on like where Adidas stands in this midsole like foam compound market, because LightStrike Pro is pretty amazing stuff, and DreamStrike Plus so far, pretty awesome stuff as well. In my opinion, the DreamStrike Plus is kind of more like a Fresh Foam X from New Balance, and then like the LightStrike Pro is more like the FuelCell, but a little bit firmer than FuelCell, but still quite responsive. So that's just my 2 cents. But any which way, Adidas making some nice moves in 2024. And speaking of New Balance, we do have FuelCell and Fresh Foam X. They're two major proprietary foams that they have on the market, and they've done a pretty good job like showing us a bunch of different models with both of these foams. Now, for those that didn't know, Fresh Foam X is supposed to be more of like the recovery foam or the cushion foam, and then FuelCell is supposed to be more of like the race day ready, like responsive kickback sort of foam that you're supposed to kind of go faster with. I usually find FuelCell to be a lot softer than Fresh Foam X, but the new models of Fresh Foam X is quite soft as well, and I'm really looking forward to the new models in 2024, especially the FuelCell Rebel B4 as well as the Super Comp Trainer 3s, and then there's like 3 or 4 different versions actually that I really want to try. The one that I think I'm most intrigued by is a Fresh Foam X foam Balos. It's a $200 super trainer, but without a carbon plate, which is perfect for me. I don't really like carbon plates for casual. But then it also combines the midsole with FuelCell, Fresh Foam, and a PEBA mix. So it's like a mix between all of the different technologies. I'm curious to see how soft it is, how firm it is, just overall how it feels on feet. That one's supposed to be coming out later this year, but I'm definitely going to be getting that one. I gotta see how it is from the casual. But New Balance doing some amazing stuff as usual, and 2024 looks really, really solid. And I'll be trying a lot of their models out from the casual, even if it's a race day running shoe. I'm really going to try to see which one's the best one for casual, so make sure you subscribe if you guys want more information in the future. Next up, we have Asics and their current lineup of super foams. They have the FFBlast Plus, which is featured in like the Kayano 30s, as well as the Gel Nimbus 26s, and also the new Nova Blast 4, which I just did a video on. Now, in the Gel Nimbus 26 and the Kayano 30s, you do have the FFBlast Plus with the addition of Pure Gel, and the overall combination of this stuff is quite nice. I will say that the Nova Blast is just fine with the FFBlast Plus without the Pure Gel, but the Pure Gel does add a nice little bit of cushion in addition to the FFBlast. Now, FF stands for Flight Foam, not Fresh Foam, and now you have a bunch of different versions of the FFBlast and then the Blast Plus, and they also have an FFTurbo, which is featured in the Metaspeed series, and they do also have FFTurbo in the Superblast model as well, which I did try and I like that one as well. Although the midsole is a little bit like hollow feeling, it definitely was nice and soft and light on feet. I haven't tried the Metaspeed series yet. I don't know if that's one for the casual, if you guys have tried them, but it's like a $200+ runner, and out of pocket, I'm just like, I'm not really interested in it that much. It'd probably be a pair that I'd get, realize it's not for casual, and then return. But if you guys have a difference in opinion, please chime in the comment section. Now, next up is Saucony, and they have the PWRRUNPB, but they also have the PWRRUNHG in the Endorphin Pro 4, which is something that I'm very interested in. I actually tried Saucony back in the Everrun days, where it was kind of like their first Adidas Boost competition material that looked very similar. It had fused together pellets, sort of like the Adidas Boost. But since then, they released the PWRRUN and then PWRRUNPB and then this PWRRUNHG as well. So they have a whole bunch of different versions. And the evolution process of the foam technology is something that I really enjoy. I like seeing different versions, different plus versions of different foams, and giving us a softer, more responsive, like more cushioned versions of the foam that was initially introduced, which is what I am assuming Saucony's been doing. I am going to be trying to get the Endorphin Pro 4 or the Speed 4. If you guys have a suggestion of which one is better for casual, I'm assuming the Speed is, considering the Pro is carbon plated, I believe, and I don't really want the carbon plate. But I want to try the new PWRRUN technology and see how it is on feet. It's probably not going to be as soft and squishy on feet as like FuelCell has been traditionally. The Endorphin has always kind of been a little bit firmer in my feet, but it's definitely something that I want to try and see how it is comparison to the previous versions. Now, next up, we do have the Nike Zoom X technology, as well as a few others from Nike. They have Nike React. They also have Cushlon 3.0. They also have Nike React X. They have Lunarlon. There's so many different foams from Nike. The main one, that the softest and squishiest version, in my opinion, is the Nike Zoom X. Cushlon 3.0 is also very soft, and a combination of those two is always a plus. React X is kind of like a softer version of Nike React as well, which React is quite soft also. So there's a whole bunch of different things. At least they're branding things differently, but it's still difficult to tell, like, is React X worth trying versus the Nike React? Is it even that much softer? Is it lighter? Like versus Cushlon, which is featured on lower tiered models, but also on like LeBron's new signature shoe, like the 21s. So sometimes it is tough to determine, but I feel like Zoom X is definitely like their flagship. Their ones on the Alpha series, really the elite runners, but it's also been featured on the Invincible Run, one of my favorites from Nike in the last 3 or 4 years. Also, they do have the Pegasus Turbos rumored to be coming back this year. I can't wait to try those out. And I wonder if it's full-length Zoom X instead of the Zoom X and React compound that we got. It was a dual density foam on the first 2 versions. So definitely interested to see where those are and if they're going to be good on feet. Next up, we have Hoka, which does not usually have a like proprietary foam, which is like an EVA foam or something like that in the midsole of most of their stuff. However, I have been seeing that they have a supercritical foam as well as a like 2-layered PEBA midsole for the Hoka Cielo X1. And PEBA is basically just a high-performance thermoplastic elastomer. So as an example, like Zoom X and then Saucony PWRRUN versus like Adidas Boost, which is like a TPU foam. TPU being thermoplastic polyurethane, which they have little pellets and then they kind of fuse them together. But Hoka's basically been using an EVA foam on most of the stuff. And so this is kind of their first step into the PEBA world and the like supercritical foam world, which means it could be softer, more responsive, lighter, all those things that we like on all the other brands, and Hoka's finally bringing it to their the models as well. I definitely want to try some of them out and see how they are. I have a feeling they won't be as soft as others. They do come at more of a premium price point. The Cielo is like $275. I saw they're available now, but man, I don't know if I'm going to be paying $275 for those. Any which way, I'm very interested to see how these do lifestyle and if it's something that could be fashionable from like a lifestyle perspective, because they do look really nice. The Cielo is definitely the most aggressive, edgier pair that I've seen from Hoka so far. So next up is Brooks and their DNA technology. Now this has been evolved 10 times over as well, which is something, again, I like to see. They have DNA, DNA Flash, DNA Loft. They have DNA Loft V2, V3, and DNA Flash V2. The DNA Flash V2 is featured in the Brooks Hyperion Max 2 that's going to be coming out, and it's definitely one that I'm interested in seeing how those are on feet. So for my personal preference, I actually really enjoy the DNA Loft V3 version. I first tried this on the Aurora BL model, and they had the nitrogen injected midsole, as you could see, like prominently displayed. Supposedly when they infuse nitrogen in the midsoles, it magnifies the foam's qualities and provides increased levels of softness and responsiveness. It's also quite a bit lighter. They also do have DNA Loft V2, which is featured in the Ghost Max, and then the new Glycerin 21 actually features the DNA Loft V3. The Glycerin 21 is definitely a model that I need to try out. I'm assuming that the new Ghost Max has the V3, but I'm not 100% sure yet. I'd say that overall the DNA Loft V3 is probably the softest and squishiest for the lifestyle perspective. The DNA Flash is like featured on more of the elite runners. So next up we have On Running, which features a couple different technologies, but the main one that I really like is a CloudTec Phase. This one is featured on the Cloud Eclipse. They also do have a new walking shoe called the Cloud Tilt that looks very interesting, about $160 on those. And also just pointing out, the Cloud Monster features the CloudTec midsole, and then the Cloud Eclipse features the CloudTec Phase. Also my favorite model out of the 3, the Cloud Surfer, features the CloudTec Phase midsole as well. The first pairs that I tried originally was just the basic CloudTec, and it was okay. It wasn't anything crazy, but to be honest, the CloudTec Phase is much softer on feet. They do have a very interesting design with the midsoles that you can see literally right through, but surprisingly, they're very comfortable on feet, and I like the evolution of what On Running is doing with their sneakers. They're not just sticking to one midsole and saying, this is the one, this is the truth, this is the one that is going to be the only one that we're going to create. They're creating much different versions, all different styles and shapes. The Cloud Tilt versus the Cloud Eclipse looks very similar to the midsole, but you can see the midsole spacing, the way that they deliver it is actually tilted a little bit in comparison to the Eclipse. So pretty interesting stuff. And it'll be fun to see where they take things into the future, because they do have definitely an identifiable brand with the midsole look comparison to a lot of the other super foams on the market. So next up we have Reebok and the Float Zig technology. They have a bunch of different models that are going to be coming out very soon with Float Zig, and it's one that I'm very interested in trying out. It's a combination of two of their technologies, and honestly it's the combination that makes the most sense. You have the Floatride energy foam mixed with the Zig mechanical shape, and so it's kind of in that on running space where you have like a sculpted midsole in such a unique way with that Zig shape, but you use the Floatride energy foam, and I think it is a perfect match because the energy foam is pretty nice on feet. It's pretty soft, it's pretty comfortable, but that look mixed with the Zig I think is a perfect combination for what Reebok needs to just liven up the series a little bit. Once those come out, I will try out a couple pairs to see which one I like the best for the lifestyle perspective. Now next up we have Under Armour and the Velociti Elite 2. Now I've tried the Velociti Flow 3s, I think they were, from the lifestyle side. Pretty good on feet, really nice overall, but the Elite is where they change things up quite a bit. It's much more expensive, in line with the Elite running sneakers out there, but it features a dual density midsole that I'm really interested in checking out. It has a Pebax foam for the top layer of the midsole, light and highly responsive. Then it has a UA Supercritical Flow midsole on the bottom, and it's lightweight responsive, and it doubles as a durable outsole. So that's something different from Under Armour. They use the Flow foam that's actually soft, but it's actually durable enough that they use it as an outsole, which is very interesting. The newer Curry models also feature the Flow technology for the outsole midsole, which if it's good enough for Steph, it must be pretty good. Anyways, I'm interested in that Pebax foam and the Supercritical Flow. I think that will be a fun combination, and I bet those things are just really nice on feet. Again, that combination is really reserved for like the elite running sneakers, and I wish they would involt that for like the lower tiered stuff as well. And lastly on the list, we have the Puma NITROFOAM, which is the advanced foam technology that provides superior responsiveness and cushioning in a lightweight package. But Puma also has the NITROFOAM Elite, which is a premium performance technology foam that provides pinnacle responsiveness in an extremely lightweight package. So the Deviate Nitro 3 is definitely a model that I want to try out, and that one does feature the Nitro Elite foam. I thought that the Nitro 1 featured the regular Nitro foam, so maybe they switch it to Elite on the second. And the Nitro foam, I believe, is nitrogen injected foam as well, and it's like soft and squishy and like all the good stuff that we have on the market. Anyways, if you guys are new to my channel, hit the subscribe button. I will be reviewing a lot of these sneakers as they come out through the year. And then if any of them have come out thus far and you guys are watching this video, I'll try to link some of them in the description as well if you guys want to go over and buy any of the shoes that I'm kind of mentioning. Also, if you guys want to check out any of the lineup from any of the brands that they have currently out there right now, I'll link them in the description of the video as well. Anyways, have a good rest of the day. Thanks for stopping by and watching, and hopefully we'll see you back on the channel for some more content soon. All right, peace.